Admiral Zexathara stood on the bridge of the Dominion's Pride, watching the tactical display with the smug satisfaction that had defined hegemony military doctrine for 3 centuries. Before them hung the human fleet, a motley collection of angular, primitive vessels that looked more like industrial equipment than proper warships. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, mandibles clicking with barely contained amusement. "The humans are requesting a diplomatic meeting to discuss terms of surrender." Zexathara's 4 eyes narrowed in what passed for a smile among his species. How predictable. They see our chronite shields and realize the futility of resistance. He gestured toward the shimmering energy barriers that enveloped each hegemony, vessel-like soap bubbles made of pure deflection. "Inform them that unconditional surrender is their only option." The chronite shield technology had made the hegemony the undisputed rulers of this galaxy arm. No weapon in known space could penetrate the exotic matter barriers. Not plasma cannons, not antimatter torpedoes, not even the devastating singularity bombs of the extinct Vorthan Empire. Energy simply deflected harmlessly away. Matter disintegrated upon contact, and directed force redistributed itself across the shield's entire surface area. "Admiral," came the response from the human flagship, transmitted in accented but clear hegemony standard. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Defiance. We appreciate your generous offer, but will have to respectfully decline." Zexathara's amusement curdled into irritation. "Then you choose death. Very well." He turned to his weapons officer. "Target their command ship, full plasma barrage." The space between the fleets lit up with coherent energy streams, each one carrying enough destructive force to vaporize a small moon. The human vessels scattered, their primitive chemical thrusters leaving visible exhaust trails as they maneuvered desperately to avoid the incoming fire. Several shots connected, and Zexathara watched with satisfaction as human hull plating vaporized and atmosphere vented into space. But the humans didn't break. Instead, they regrouped into a tight formation, presenting their broadsides to the hegemony fleet. "Curious," muttered the sensor operator. "I'm detecting massive power buildups in their weapon systems, but the energy signatures are strange." "Strange how?" Zexathara demanded. "It's not fusion plasma or antimatter annihilation. It's almost like they're charging capacitors, massive ones." The human ships opened fire. What emerged from their weapon ports wasn't energy. It was solid matter. Chunks of dense metal, each weighing several tons, accelerated to a significant fraction of light speed by electromagnetic fields that registered as brief, intense spikes on the hegemony sensors. The first projectile struck the hegemony's wrath amidships. The chronite shield, designed to deflect energy and disintegrate matter upon contact, encountered something it had never faced before. A solid object moving at 12% of light speed, carrying kinetic energy measured in the petajoule range. The shield held for exactly 0.003 seconds. Then the tungsten slug punched through the exotic matter barrier like it was tissue paper, continued through the Wrath's armor plating, and exited the far side of the ship in a spray of superheated plasma and debris. The massive dreadnought Pride of the hegemony fleet split in half and exploded in a ball of nuclear fire. Zexathara's bridge fell silent except for the hum of life support systems. "What?" he whispered, staring at the expanding cloud of wreckage. "What just happened?" His chief science officer's voice was hollow with shock. "The projectile. It was just metal. Accelerated metal. Our shields are designed to handle exotic physics, energy weapons, exotic matter, directed force. They have no defense against simple kinetic impact at relativistic velocities." Another human broadside thundered across space. This time, 6 hegemony vessels died simultaneously, their invincible shields offering no more protection than glass windows. The human captain's voice crackled over the comm. "In case you're wondering, Admiral, those are called railguns. The concept is about as old as our space program. Accelerate a dense projectile using electromagnetic fields and let physics do the rest. We've been using them for centuries." "Impossible," Zexathara snarled. No species has ever needed to," Captain Chen interrupted. Everyone else developed energy shields to counter energy weapons, then developed better energy weapons to counter better shields. It's been an arms race of increasingly exotic physics for millennia. But humans? There was audible amusement in her voice. Humans looked at that entire competition and said, what if we just threw a rock really, really hard? The remaining hegemony ships began to scatter, but the human vessels were already adjusting their aim. The railgun projectiles, guided by simple course correction thrusters, tracked their targets with ruthless efficiency. All ships retreat, Zexathara commanded, but it was too late. The humans had positioned themselves perfectly, cutting off escape routes with overlapping fields of fire. You see, Admiral, Chen continued as another hegemony dreadnought disappeared in a flash of kinetic fury. While you were perfecting energy shields, we were perfecting the art of making things go very fast in a straight line. Turns out, F equals ma is still the most dangerous equation in the universe when you scale it up enough. Within 10 minutes, the hegemony's Invincible fleet was reduced to expanding clouds of superheated gas and twisted metal. Only Zexathara's flagship remained, its shields flickering uselessly as a dozen human vessels trained their railguns on his position. Now then, Captain Chen said, her voice carrying the weight of absolute victory, let's discuss those terms of surrender. Admiral Zexathara looked at his tactical display, where the tactical readouts showed human railgun projectiles holding position just outside firing range, a clear demonstration that they could end his ship's existence whenever they chose. For 3 centuries, the hegemony had ruled through the superiority of their shield technology. It had taken humanity exactly 18 minutes to render that technology obsolete. Sometimes, he murmured to himself as he reached for the surrender beacon. The oldest solutions are the best solutions. The humans, it seemed, had never forgotten that fundamental truth.